Happy Monday, guys. We are going to do a demo today on making a binder cover. I made these as teacher gifts one year for like all of my kids' teachers, and they're really great because you can customize them really easily. You can make them to fit any size binder, and they're washable. So if you know, kids are handling them or you're throwing them in and out of your briefcase or whatever, you know, they get dirty. But if it's just cotton, you can wash it. This is a pattern by Karen Montgomery. I love her one-sheet patterns for a number of reasons. The pattern has you quilt a piece of fabric with just batting on one side. My personal favorite way to do it is two-sided fusible fleece with a fabric on the back. So, and the reason for that is this. I think it makes it more washable. So this is the inside of the one that I made this weekend, and I did it exactly according to the instructions, and you can see the batting on the inside, which is fine. And you could wash this because I've quilted it pretty close together, and this is wool batting that's in here. You could wash this if you wanted to, but if you wanted to make it a little bit more durable and you know, easy to be washed multiple times, I would probably be inclined to use not only a fusible fleece, but to actually put a backing fabric on. So a couple of tips. What I did was I took my piece of fabric, and this is with the fabric, and I quilted like every couple of inches or maybe every inch and a half all the way across the long side of the fabric. Once I quilted both directions, I then went and ironed it with steam. So since this way was already really stabilized, I started on one end over here and I stitched up, and I actually stitched off the fabric and came over and came back down and off the fabric and back up, and I did that all the way across. Okay, it took me about 3 minutes. Now we're going to cut this down based on the measurements of the pattern. Now what I have is a big piece of quilted fabric. This is just a binder that I had laying around. I'm going to take my binder and I'm going to put the fabric I want to see face sides up. Okay, I want to find the middle of my fabric, which is easy enough to do. And I'm going to put a couple of pins in. Here's my pin, and here's my pin. Now I'm going to take the middle of my binder, kind of eyeball it and center your binder. Then I'm going to take a couple more pins, and I'm going to find where the end of my binder is with my pins. So we can take our binder away for now. I'm going to just trim up, I'm going to clean up these ends because I want to go and hem the edge of my fabric. You just want to check and make sure. Okay, so this is a little bit too long. We're going to hem this in. The pattern gives you the length that you want, but you just want to make sure that your binder is going to stay in the middle. I've already cut all the pieces we need to finish this project, but one of the things we're going to do is make a pocket. We're going to snip these corners off. Don't snip them too small. Snip the corners just a little bit off of there, okay? So if you're not in the medical profession, you don't know what hemostats do, they open and close like tweezers, but they also lock. So this little mechanism here will actually lock it so it can't come apart, and if you pop it open, then it will unlock. So I will take hemostats, put them inside the thing I want to turn. I open them, put it up there in the pocket and open them. See that open? Put my fingernail inside the hemostats, take my fingernail out, and then lock it. Then I'm going to pull this right way out. And then I'm going to go press this. The pocket piece is going to get attached within this pin and the end. Okay, and I'm just going to center that a little bit. I'm going to pin it on. So we're just going to take and we're going to top stitch from here down the sides and back up to the top. Make sure you back stitch here and here because this is a pocket. So this is where it's going to get pulled on. And we're going to take and look at where everything folds. So we know that our binder is going to fit here because that's where the pins are. And it's going to fit here because that's where the pins are. Now what we have is this weird sort of top section. I've already taken the binding part of our project and I'm going to put it over the edges here. I'm going to pin this in place. I'm going to do that for the top and I'm going to do it for the bottom. And then I'm going to take this to my machine and I'm going to sew from here to here. And I'm going to backstitch both of those pieces. I'm going to do that on the top and I'm going to do that on the bottom. This one, I did not have the other fabric in. Remember, it's just batting. So what we have is here's our pocket, because when we folded this over, we've got a pocket. This is your binding piece so that when you flip this over, the thing I did a little bit differently that Karen didn't do in her pattern was I just went ahead and top stitched this a little bit. So if you take your binder and you slide it in about 3 inches and fold it up, don't put it all the way in there, okay? And then put the other side in a couple 3 inches. And then you can just sort of slide it on like a pillowcase. So I'm going to take all of my Karen Montgomery $2.50 patterns and they're all going to go into this binder. So when you're in the shop, you can flip through them and see what they are. I hope everybody had fun. I hope you're very inclined to make one of these or 27 of them, whatever you prefer. And we will see you guys next week. See you later.